Hello and welcome to a new video. Today we're going to take a look at the XL Lileep in the Open Great League. This Pokemon got access to Bullet Seed this season. Actually, it was available prior, but only for people who were lucky and were able to TM this Pokemon during I think a 2-hour window somewhere in the middle of the night where Niantic screwed up the moveset. But now it's available for everyone. We're going to actually have the Shadow variant here as well, which I didn't know. I cut out some of the losses of the gameplay. I'm always kind of honest with this kind of stuff because I had so much gameplay from this person that still going to be losses in there or whatever, but it is definitely interesting that the opponent was that this player was able to use their Go Plus Plus while playing Go Battle League here right now. Usually this freezes the game immediately. Of course, there's going to still be some earlier battles as well sometimes. Some of them going to be most likely also just some normal battles again. It is early into the season, it's going to still happen, but we can still take a look at XL Shadow Lileep. Getting this Pokemon with those IVs is kind of wild as well, so that's kind of crazy, but still I'm very confused about them using the Go Plus Plus or whatever in the background. Is this fixed now? Let me know in the comment section if you know about this, but I'm curious because I am always kind of under the knowledge that it's not possible to use the Go Plus Plus in spinning stops because it's going to freeze the game, but maybe I'm wrong. Yeah, the opponent were letting this move go through, which was kind of interesting, and here's the cool thing about Shadow Lileep on this team as well. Shadow Lileep is just charging so fast. This Pokemon is insane in terms of how fast it charges up to moves. Here we're going to see that they can still reach another Leaf Blade. And so this is going to be it for the first game, and we can move on into the second one. Next opponent loading in here, let's see what they're going to run. Are we going to see here a Hypno? That's going to be an interesting one. I have no idea why you really want to swap into your Lileep here. Your first move is going to be resisted. I guess it's nowadays a little bit of a better matchup than it was prior, because now at least you're going to hit a little bit harder with your charge moves, but still maybe not the most ideal matchup ever. But let's see here, Leaf Blade is going to not connect for the first one. Let's see if the second one is going to connect. Most likely going to do around 60% damage against the opponent. It's non-stab, it is not super effective, but we will never find out. But at least you can now align your Charger Bug against the opponent, as now one extra guarantees the knockout against the opponent here as well. You can get a free fast move in here as well. Let's see, the Shadow Ball is coming through. This is going to get shielded, and we will see a Muk in the back. Shadow Muk against you, going to be an interesting matchup, as you're gonna see as well. Discharge going to connect, and you're not gonna get up the next discharge. I don't know if you can still survive the next move, which is going to be the Thunder Punch. Okay, it's going to be, of course, a resisted move, and so that's going to be very easy for you to survive. We see the knockout here against the Muk, and in comes the Electrode. So with a Spark, Shadow Electrode or Spark is not ideal. Volt Switch is still going to be way better. Just doing more damage, still going to generate. Oh, never mind. I think it even generates energy faster now as well. But I think Spark does 1 more damage than the Volt Switch. I'm not too sure, but it one-shots here with a Grass Knot. Can a Lileep actually go for the full sweep? Let's find out. It is going to be able to knock them out and win the game. Moving on to the next opponent here, we're going to encounter Broguiere in the lead. The Broguiere is going to be an interesting one for sure, as you can still at least go for the neutral Ancient Power, but it's not really ideal for your entire team. Honestly, Broguiere is going to be a tough one to deal with. Let's see if he can still deal with it, as you will see that he can still survive this move for sure. An Awkward here is not going to knock you out in terms of the damage that I've seen so far exactly, and you can go for the Ancient Power. A little bit risky to go for that extra fast move because the opponent would have got to a move at the same time, but you can still at least go actually for the full farm down. That's absolutely wild. Lileep taking that lead here, as you're gonna see the Quillfish coming in. You have to go into your Charger Bug most likely, but let's find out what you're gonna do. Exactly, Charger Bug is going to be the safer play for you, as you can go for the neutral Axis as well. There's no right or wrong fast move timing here for you, but they're gonna go for the Shadow Ball. That is going to chunk. You're going to have 2 moves stored though, so you're either gonna get the knockout or a shield here. Let's see, the first one's gonna get shielded. This is not going to get the knockout, but it's going to get them low enough that you're mostly going to be able to farm them all the way down just with Psycho Cuts alone. So let's see if this is going to work out for you. You're forced to use a shield here. Awkward Tail is coming in, going to be a buff move now as well, and it's going to be a Charger Bug in the back, and this is very likely a good game. Charger Bug is one of the only Pokemon that's going to be able to resist both fast as well as, not fast, but both Leaf Blade as well as Close Combat. The fast move of Psycho Cut is not really cutting it anyway, but yeah, kind of sad here for you. This is going to be a loss, as the opponent can go for double X's, and this is going to be a good game. There's some more Pokemon actually that also resist both of the moves, everything that's kind of flying type would be able to resist it, but yeah, let's move on to the next opponent. Great lead here for you. We're going to have the Credilli against Swampert. Going to have super effective Bullet Seed, which does way more damage than I would have ever imagined here for this one as well. Hydro Cannon coming through, going to get no shielded. Going to two-shot you, but you can one-shot the opponent. The opponent is at the same amount of health as you, but you didn't throw a charge move yet, and now you can go for another one immediately afterwards. You're going to use a shield here in order to ensure that you can realign your Pokemon, which might be very important for this backline, especially as one Pokemon is weak to Flying-type Pokemon, the other one can deal with Flying-type Pokemon, so I guess realignment is kind of important, as you're going to maybe use another shield. You can farm them all the way down. You're going to keep that shield for most likely your Gallade, which is coming in now. I would imagine, at least I would go into my Gallade exactly, getting that a little bit of an energy advantage here is going to be great, especially as it can just hit everything other than a Cresselia. Leaf Blade is still going to be fine for you, though. Leaf Blade is going to do some decent damage, and I would try to most likely swap onto a charge move here, maybe a little bit too early, but that's going to be okay. As the opponent has a Grand Ball in the bag, you will be able to go for a discharge, and you have some lag here. I think that's just because of the Go++. I would not recommend you to use your Go++ at the same time as playing PvP. It is a very, very risky play to go for. Yeah, would not recommend you to do that. It is definitely not really worth it. Here, the opponent is going to lose this game already. We know it now, as well, as the opponent went for the extra fast move, which we saw sneaking in, and so you can go for 2 charge moves, and this is going to be a very good game. Charger Buggy going to take that knockout, and we can move on to the next opponent. Next one coming in, we're going to have basically a relic from the past. We're going to have the Medicham. There was actually a team recently that I thought of maybe using Medicham in, but it's kind of tricky right now. I feel like Medicham didn't even really need the Psychic nerf to be kind of where it is right now, because you just have better Pokemon that kind of fill a similar role, with a Poliwrath, which is just busted with Icy Wind plus Gold, and the Annihilate. And also, I feel like it is a little bit too slow for the current meta. Like, I don't know, like getting to the Ice Punch after 6 fast moves is cool or whatever, but like it's kind of too slow for the damage output that you have, so it is a little bit risky. Like, what I mean with too slow, you basically CMP tie with something like the Dragonair, and Dragonair is very, very common right now. I don't know, like I feel like Medicham just doesn't really have the play right now in the meta, which is kind of funny because it was dominating for ages. Here, it is better for you, by the way, to still go for the Exeter. Exeter is going to be neutral, as it's super effective against one type, but not super, like, going to be resisted by the Ghost type, of course. It's still going to be neutral, and so here you would have been able to reach another move if you didn't go for the discharge. But let's move on here. Maybe you can still do something with your Lileep. Maybe you can go for the full farm down. We will find out. You have to go for a charge move. Nope, this is going to be sadly not it, as, yeah, kind of screw this up on your own. You can not do anything here, to be fair. You can still go for a charge move, but it doesn't really help you. You should have went for a charge move prior. If it would have helped, we don't know, but yeah, let's move on to the next opponent. Next opponent coming up, we're going to have here the Altaria in the lead. This is going to be a fairly neutral matchup, kind of where you want to have it anyway, as Ancient Power is going to be super effective, going straight forward, allowing you to maybe get a boost. If you get a boost with this Pokemon, this would be really cool as well. Honestly, I did not see the gameplay. So it's kind of funny that we actually face a boost here of the Lileep. And so Shadow Lileep boost through the Great League. Let's see how much damage it's going to do. We don't know it yet. Can we still at least see one Ancient Power? I want to see it land, please. Thank God, we will find out shortly. Is this enough to knock them out? I doubt it, but yeah, it is not. But it's still kind of funny. 2 shields advantage, so it's going to be great. I think you're going to use 1 shield, though, onto your Charger Bug soon, as it still would chunk quite a bit, but you can also let this move go through. It's going to be just a Sky Attack, but the second one you're going to have to use a shield against, but the opponent actually doesn't even get to a second one. That's amazing. What is not amazing is that the opponent has a Carbink in the back, of course. You can go for the super effective Leaf Blade. I don't think it was worth it to go for the charge move here, by the way, with a Charger Bug, but yeah, actually in a decent spot, because close combat should put them into farmland range, I think. Ah, no, don't go for Leaf Blade. Leaf Blade is double resisted, close combat is single resisted. I don't think this is the call to do. Like, it still can work out if you go for the full farmer now, but like, why do you... I would have just went for the full farm if I was you, because you would have been able to go for 2 Leaf Blades, which would have been enough against the opponent's Carbink, but I honestly don't really know what you're trying to do here right now. Just go for the Leaf Blade. Okay, yeah, maybe you can still reach another Leaf Blade afterwards as well, but that was way too complicated than it should have been. You could have just either went for the full farm down, or you just went for the close combat and you would have still had 2 shields. But either which, it's going to be fine. You can still win this game, but definitely something to improve on. Next opponent, we're going to have here the Swampert again, as we see an Hawlucha swapping in. This Pokemon is going to not really appreciate the matchup against the Charjabug, is, yeah, the Flying Press is going to be resisted, and I don't know why you used the shield here, because you definitely did not to go for that. Like, the opponent doesn't have anything that really threatens you with this Pokemon, so shield kinda wasted here in my opinion, but let's move on what the opponent is going to have in the back here. It's going to be, again, the Swampert coming in. A little bit annoying to have it in this matchup, because literally both of your other Pokemon have great matchups against Swampert. It is still okay for Charjabug. They're forced to go for an Earthquake if they want to knock you out here. Otherwise, you can still reach another charge move. It's going to be the Hydrocan again, as said before. You can still survive this. And you could even argue of swapping out of here and just keeping your Charjabug. Oh, never mind. The opponent dies anyway, so it's going to be okay for you. What's not going to be okay for you is going to be the matchup against Garmy. You're kind of forced to go for two close combats. You might be able to do so. I think it's a CMP tie though, so it's going to be tricky. The opponent uses a shield. Never mind, it's not a CMP tie, which is actually better for you. But they can use another shield here. And I doubt that 2 Ancient Power is going to be enough for your Shadow Credilli in order to do anything in this matchup. So let's find out though. Let's find out if this is going to do anything here. We're going to see the Brave Bird coming through, which is going to be okay for you, as you can go for the Ancient Power. If you catch the move onto your other Pokemon, you're fine. But the opponent basically does have no... Yeah, exactly. Like, what you had to do there is basically wait one turn and then swap, because the opponent would have kind of predicted you to go for a fast move anyway. And they can always kind of line your charge move. So, like, yeah, you had to basically wait a turn then in order to kind of swap out. But let's move on to the second to last game for today. We're going to have a Galvantula here against us, which is okay for you. Lunge is going to get shield. I think it would be super effective. I'm actually not too sure, but yeah, I think it is. Not really ideal fast move timing. It would have been better to just go for one fast move and then throw your charge move. You gave the opponent 2 free turns instead of 1 free turn, but you can still reach another one in time. The opponent uses 2 shields, which is great for you, as you can actually get the defense buff here as well as the attack buff. But of course, your attack is still -1 now, as the opponent was still able to go for another charge move here. You will get to that Ancient Power. Not gonna get the knockout, but one more fast move is all it takes. And you will see actually the Azumarill coming in, and so you can stay in and go for the Grass Knot. This is the safest play that you can go for. The entire team actually has coverage against Azumarill, and it's still going to two-shot them. Of course, you're not going to be able to see it, as the Ice Beam is going to knock you out, but we will see now the Charjabug. You're going to have a great time here. Or you could have actually went into Galate as well to go for the Leaf Blade, which would have been enough. But as you can see here, you're going to let this next move go through. It is going to be that Ice Beam, and you're just going to go for the full farm down with your Charjabug. Let's see what's going to be in the back. It's going to be the Lantern. Swap out immediately, please. Like, this is the best one that you can go for. You can swap... you should have swapped immediately, because they can outspeed the opponent. And now it's very risky. If they're going to get enough energy, you're going to be screwed. Also, go for Exeter. If both moves are neutral, Exeter is the better move to go for. Exeter has the same amount of damage as the Discharge, and it's just going to be 5 energy cheaper. So please, 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 if you play Charjabug, if both moves are neutral, go for Exeter, please. Okay, final one for today. Definitely some stuff that you can improve on, so that's also kind of why I want to showcase some other people's battles. Interesting that they actually went for a Magnet Sound here, which is a pretty bad move, by the way. But yeah, that's kind of the reason why I kind of want to showcase other people's battles as well, just to give you some kind of guidance in terms of what you can improve on. Here, for sure, like, kind of knowledge about the moves itself would be kind of nice. That's kind of funny. I didn't even know, like, usually I cut everything out here, but I didn't even know that this was one game where they just forfeit immediately. So now we can go into the final battle, I would say. Let's see, they found the opponent here kind of straight away. Let's move on to the final one for today then. We're going to have a Shadow Charizard. This is going to be tricky, because I think you're going to lose this matchup other than the Zero Shields, I guess. Depends on how the opponent places one. I guess you also cannot win this next one, because you can go for your charge move one faster, but it's still going to be tricky. Let's see if they're going to go straight Blast Burn. That's great for you, because this cannot be a Blast Burn. No, it cannot be. It's just a Dragon Claw, exactly. So you can just go for the Ancient Power. This kind of forces the shield or the knockout. I think I would let this move go through as a Charizard, but the opponent doesn't want to. So yeah, you can still just knock them out here and get a shield plus a switch advantage with your Lileep here, of course, not Credilli. And let's see what's coming in next. It's going to be the Whiscash. Just go Glade. They're going to outspeed you to the Mud Bomb. The Mud Bomb is going to be ready now, exactly. You can use a shield. I would use a shield as well. Glade basically has no answers in the Zero Shield scenario. And they're going to have the Venusaur. I would have most likely still stayed in, went for a cross combat, kept one Leaf Blade, and then swapped out. I think that would have been the best play that he could have done there. But It's still not a wrong play here. Like, it's still not wrong, like, at all. Like, you can still easily win with this kind of play. You can go for next to that and, like, yeah, now this game is over. You still have a move stored. And the opponent still has a Shadow Whiskash, which basically has nowhere to go. Escalate has its move stored already. This is not going to take the knockout, but Gallade certainly will. And so, thanks for sending in this gameplay. Very interesting to see the Shadow XL Lileep with the new fast move of Bullet Seed in action. But yeah, definitely interesting Pokemon. It was a lot of fun. Thanks for sending this in. Hopefully it helped you as well to have some feedback. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.